Let's explore a really profound idea today, one that gets to the very heart of what holds us back in life. Just take a second and let that question sink in. What if that thing you've been pushing against, that wall that seems to pop up everywhere you turn, isn't actually out there, but, in here? It's so natural, isn't it, to look for a reason outside of ourselves for why we feel stuck. It just feels easier than looking inward. And we get really good at telling ourselves stories. It was just bad luck. The timing was all wrong. Or we point to our circumstances, maybe even other people. And look, those things can be real factors, for sure, but they're almost never the actual root of the problem. And here it is. This is the big shift in thinking. The true barrier, the real reason we're stuck, is internal. It's those unhealed parts of us, our unresolved feelings, that quietly create this pattern of self-sabotage that keeps us from moving on. So let's dig into this idea of the mountain. What does it actually mean to be your own mountain? I think this really clears it up. The mountain isn't your job or your partner or your bank account. No, the mountain is the unhealed fear you're carrying. It's the way you avoid difficult feelings. It's that deep, deep attachment you have to how you think things should be. And this is absolutely crucial. This isn't a battle you have to win. It's not about forcing yourself or conquering your feelings. It's about turning toward yourself with curiosity, with understanding. The climb begins with awareness, not with a fight. So this brings us to self-sabotage, a word we throw around a lot. We tend to think it comes from a place of hating ourselves, but the truth is actually much kinder. You see, self-sabotage is really a survival instinct gone a bit haywire. Your brain is just trying to protect you from getting hurt, from the pain of failing, or being rejected, or just facing the unknown. So it creates these familiar habits because familiar feels safe, even if it's keeping you small. And this is what that protection actually looks like in real life. It's overthinking every single choice until you can't make one at all. It's procrastinating, always waiting for that perfect moment that, let's be honest, never really shows up. It's living in a fantasy of what could be instead of actually living in the what is. Okay, so where do all these habits come from? Well, it all goes back to the emotions we're trying really hard not to feel. This is one of the most important things to really get. You can't just ignore a feeling and expect it to go away. It doesn't work like that. If you push it down or pretend it's not there, it doesn't vanish. It just changes shape. And here, you can see exactly how that works. That sadness you never really let yourself feel, it might pop up as an unhealthy attachment to someone. That nagging uncertainty becomes full-blown anxiety. That deep fear, it can turn into a desperate need to control everything and everyone around you. Your actions become the symptom of an unfelt feeling. And that's exactly why you can't just power through self-sabotage with sheer willpower. It doesn't work because you're not getting to the root of it. Real change, the kind that actually lasts, comes from building emotional awareness, from learning how to just sit with your feelings, acknowledge them, and let them move through you. All right, so if we know all of this, how in the world do we start to climb? The best part is it doesn't start with some huge, scary leap. It starts with a few small, gentle steps back toward yourself. The very first step is just getting honest with yourself. Not in a harsh or critical way, but just with gentle curiosity. What's the truth you've been avoiding? What's the thing you know deep down, but haven't wanted to look at? That's where you start. So the path forward really comes down to these 4 things. Number 1, learning to feel a strong emotion without immediately having to do something about it. 2, choosing what's real over what you wish was real. 3, taking back your power and stop letting other people or situations dictate how you feel. And finally, when you do these things, you slowly start to build trust in yourself again. Let's really look at that second one, because it's huge. Living in that fantasy world of what-ifs and some days, it feels safe, but it's like a tiny little pain that you feel every single day. Facing reality, on the other hand, yeah, it can hurt a lot, all at once. But that pain has an end. It's the kind of pain that finally cleans the wound and lets you actually, truly move on. Now, before we go any further, it's so important to have a real, compassionate view of what this whole process is going to feel like. Please just let this one soak in. Healing does not happen in a straight line. You're going to have days where you feel on top of the world, like you've got it all figured out. And then you'll have days where you feel weak and full of doubt. This is not a sign that you're failing. It's just the rhythm of the climb. It's normal. You see, healing isn't some destination you get to. It's a practice. It's something you do. It's the daily, sometimes hourly repetition of choosing awareness instead of avoidance, choosing patience instead of panic, and choosing honesty with yourself over hiding. A way to look at it all. Your struggles, your inner mountain, it isn't here to destroy you. It is the very thing that is carving you into the person you're meant to be. It's what gives you your strength and your depth. So I want to leave you with this final thought. For so long, maybe you've been telling yourself this story that you're blocked or broken or just not keepable. But what if a new story is true? What if you were never actually blocked at all? You were just unhealed. And starting to heal, well, that changes everything.